This is Nick with Build Brothers Roofing, starting my digital inspection at 12668 Via Galacia out here in the Rancho Bernardo area of San Diego. Whenever we start our inspections, we always like to start underneath the eaves of the house. So the eaves of the home are going to consist of your fascia board. You then have your rafter tails, and then you have your starter board. And the reason why we like to start underneath the eave of the house is that it gives us a good idea about what kind of wood damage we can expect. So we've got some wood damage right here. You can see how rotten all that wood is. Looks like water's been getting through that portion of the property for quite some time. So we are gonna have to replace some of that shiplap right there. But the rest of the wood looks to be in pretty decent shape. This house is, freshly painted. It's well kept. You'd be surprised at how far a fresh coat of paint will go when it comes to protecting the wood. So I can't see the wood repair getting too crazy on this project. One thing I did notice is the shadow board that we have going along the fascia. So I'm gonna work my way up here and just point something out. So there is no drip edge on this property. So we have bird stop. Drip edge is a piece of metal flashing that hangs over the fascia board right here, and it protects the wood. We do have this piece of shadow board, and sometimes what we'll notice is the shadow board sticks up a little bit, and as that water gets underneath the tiles and runs down, it gets stuck behind this board and ends up causing some damage. So it doesn't look like that's really going to be the case on this property, but it's just something to be aware of as a homeowner, just in case our guys pull this roof off and we find some more damage than we expected. This is a concrete S-tile roof that we're on right now. Nice thing with concrete is that it does get stronger as it ages. So it's not 100% necessary to replace the tile. Although if they want a nice fresh roof to look like that, then replacing the tile would be a great option at this point. But I'm gonna point a few things out on the roof that I saw right away. Right off the bat, we can see how these mortar caps are starting to fail. So right now this mortar capping isn't really doing anything. We can see that this thing is really just kind of coming apart at this point. And then we can see the exposed underlayment right here, and we can see how damaged that is. It's literally just crumbling. It's falling apart. It's been exposed to the elements for quite some time, and it's also showing that a lot of water is beginning down this portion of the roof. So when we redo this roof, obviously we're going to redo all the mortar capping on it. I pulled a few tiles just to show the homeowner what the condition of the underlayment is on this property as well. So the underlayment is the most important part of the roof. It's what's protecting the home itself. And we can see just how damaged this underlayment is. You can see all the water marks, all the water stains, all the water's been coming down here for quite some time. You see how rusted out all those nails are as well. And then you can see how the underlayment is really just kind of starting to deteriorate at this point. I'm gonna push this tile up, but I wanna point out a few other portions of the roof, and then show what the difference is between the original underlayment and then newer underlayment, because this portion of the roof seems to have been replaced about 10 years ago or so. So again, pulled a few tiles over here. We can see how all that water's been getting down here. You can see the water streaks coming down this portion of it. And again, you can see how old and deteriorated that underlayment is. Same thing over here in this section. This stuff is really kind of just starting to come apart, so it just really kind of crumbles at my fingertips. So when the underlayment gets to be at that point, it's a telltale sign that the product just has gone past its life expectancy. New, fresh underlayment is going to be it's going to be thicker. It's going to be more granular, more gritty to the touch. This underlayment is none of that. We got some skylights that we're gonna have to work around on this project. So we're gonna go ahead and reflash those skylights to make sure that they are waterproof. You can also see that the sealant along all the penetrations is starting to wear through. So all the water and moisture, whenever it rains, trickles down these pipes and gets right through all that sealant that's deteriorated over the years. Same thing over here. You can see how it's just coming apart, and that's evident throughout all the penetrations on this roof. We've got some dormer vents on this roof. We're going to go ahead and replace those dormer vents with O'Hagan vents. So these are always the first area of the roof that starts to leak. They're super susceptible to leaks. We're going to get rid of those, add the O'Hagan vents. They're flat, low profile vents. We want to increase the exhaust ventilation on this property. Right now we have the 2 dormer vents, and that is it. So I want to increase that. I want to add another vent on this portion of the roof, and then another on that section of the roof as well. We'll get a total of 4 O'Hagan vents. I pulled a tile over here again just to show the difference. This portion of the roof was replaced about 10 years ago, I think, from what the homeowner had mentioned. But you can see we have different nail caps on it as well. And this stuff is just a lot more grittier, a little thicker as well. It is kind of coming apart still really kind of thin and crumbling. So it'd be a good idea to replace the whole thing at this point. So the homeowner has two options. We can do the lift and reset, where we lift all these tiles up, we replace the underlayment. We're gonna add new drip edge, new bird stop to the roof as well, put the old tile right back on top. It's a brand new roof at that point. Or they can go ahead and say, hey, we're gonna go ahead with the new tile roof, no problem. Give it a nice fresh look, and then we can go from there. That's it for my inspection.